Okay, so I'm back here with Grant and Sarah, and we're going to talk specifically today about social media. What are the negative effects of social media and the things that we should be careful of? We talked about the agreement loop and about how the algorithms on social media are constantly giving us things that we agree with or things that we like. How does that work, Grant?
Yeah, so with Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, any kind of social media platform, there's an algorithm analyzing everything you're doing, not only just liking or something like that, but even if you slow down on your scroll and you're looking at a video longer or a picture, or if you open a link, it'll recognize that and it'll start showing you more and more of the same topics, same people talking about the same things. And so it just gets you in this loop of everything you're seeing is what you think is correct, and you're not seeing another side of it. You're only seeing what you think is true.
Yeah.
And those...
You get an echo chamber of agreement.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you'll just get lost in it. You'll just go to the next video, go to the next post, and you'll just get more and more focused on those ideas.
So as a result, people get offended easily when they hear something they don't agree with.
Right.
Yeah, like this can't be true.
Yeah.
This is not what I've been reading. Like this is what is true because I've been reading this.
Everything I see says this.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you need to see something else.
Exactly.
Maybe
Yeah.
you need to get a different input for somewhere else.
It's fascinating, actually. I will take my husband's phone and my phone, open Facebook. We have the same friends, completely different news feeds.
Yeah.
So different. And so it blows my mind to see I don't know. So if you ever want to do an experiment, try it. It's freaky.
Yeah, he's probably getting friend requests from 10 pretty girls that don't actually exist on Facebook. Like, I open up my Facebook, it's like, hey, this beautiful woman wants to be your friend on Facebook. I'm like, yeah, right, that woman wants to be my friend on Facebook.
Your friend, yeah.
And a lot of the things that show up on that feed are influencers. These people who are supposed to be influencing you.
Right.
That word is hilarious because they're not actually influencing you. They're entertaining you. They're making you feel a certain way, and Facebook knows how you want to feel.
Yep.
Because of these algorithms. We talked about comparison as well, about how on social media you're constantly seeing the best of somebody else's life and comparing it to the worst of your life or even the mundane of your life, and you begin to become insecure. You begin to think your life is worse than it is, leads to depression, leads to anxiety, and that comparison game on social media is rampant.
Yeah, I think filters of any kind on any phone have done a number on this comparison, and you can look any way that you want without even. I can have no makeup on, take a picture, use a filter, and it looks like I got up and got ready that morning.
Yeah.
And so it's just this downward spiral,
Which probably adds to the lust problem.
Oh, I think it definitely does.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking as a guy, like lust is already a struggle for a lot of men. And then you go to Instagram and you start scrolling through pictures and you linger maybe a little bit longer on a picture. Now your feed is showing you more of that picture. I was just on YouTube watching their YouTube Shorts, which is like their reels. And I was watching different videos. I thought there was some funny dancing. And then like there's a video of a couple girls doing something. And I can't remember what it was, but I lingered on that to see what it was. And then the next short was a very similar video. And the next short was a very similar video. And for men, like that is not good. Like that is just getting you more and more addicted to it and wanting to see more and more. And
they're even discovering what you're attracted to, and they'll show you more of what you're attracted to. So it's like it's not just allowing the lust, it's feeding the lust, and it's just growing and growing and growing. And we know with lust, it just takes you down a path and it just gets worse and worse as you go. So you're seeing this unrealistic beauty. You're thinking, I'm not gonna marry somebody until I find that perfect person. Yeah. Whole time realizing that perfect person would never ever marry me, so why am I fantasizing about this?
Yeah.
And it's just the reason why the marriage rates are declining, the reason why people are getting married later and later in life, part of that is this struggle with unrealistic beauty.
Yep.
Yeah. Higher expectations, and people aren't meeting them when you meet them face to face.
Yeah.
So
you're scrolling through and you're seeing things that you agree with, things that you like, things that are attractive to you, and the scroll just continues. And so I think one of the things that social media do is it's a time suck. I mean, how many of us start a scroll on Instagram and it just an hour later, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
How long have I been doing this? Where am I?
Yeah. I think that's kind of where the series comes from. Is like phone zombies. Like we just become into our own reality of looking at this device, and everything around us disappears, and we can just get lost in it and just
dead to the world.
Yeah, we're just not thinking about anything except for just mindlessly staring at a screen, looking for that next video, that next thing that will stop the scroll and occupy your mind.
I think something also has to be said about censorship, and that these big tech companies are determining what is okay to be said, what isn't okay to be said. When are they going to say, you know what, Christianity, no, it's gone. In fact, recently they have decided they are going to attack blessings in a backpack, and we cannot create a blessings in a backpack page. As soon as we create one, they take it down. We'll recruit a bunch of followers, and a lot of people will follow, but nope, take it down. Paul, the other day on one of our live feeds on the service, quoted or commented about somebody's testimony being very good. Thank you for sharing, and they took it down for community standards or whatever they say. They're determining what is okay for us to hear and what's not.
Yeah, and they don't even give you a reason. They give you a reason, but it's not a way for us to like, okay, we can't say that. Well, let's try to rephrase that so we can still be on social media. They just say you violated the guidelines. They give you the guidelines, but they don't tell you which one. Yeah. And so even for us, as trying to bring Christianity into social media, we can't necessarily navigate it very well because we don't know what rule we broke, so we can bypass that and still post.
Yeah. Let's talk about negativity and the reality of the tone of what's going on online.
I think this is huge. If I spend too much time on my social media looking at things that I agree with, however, they're still very, I would say, politicized at this point, or very divided, my attitude can change. I mean, in 15 minutes, I can go from today's a great day to, oh my gosh, our world is falling apart. Yep. When it's really, I mean, it's not, but they know what to show you. And so I think it's huge. So if you don't have a mental filter that this is not reality, yeah, I think it can have a huge negative toll on your thought process, on your mind, on the outlook on the world. And so how are you supposed to recover from that?
Yeah. So when scripture says focus on things that are good and worthy of praise, the problem is when you're only seeing things you agree with, when you get a glimpse of something you don't agree with, you become angry at that other side. It's like, how could you possibly think that? How are you so dumb that you don't agree with me? And the anger builds, the frustration builds, and divisiveness happens.
I think a big danger in that is when somebody comments something negative and you start getting angry. Jesus commands us to see everyone as our neighbor. And so when you start having these angry thoughts, you are supposed to love your neighbor. Yeah. Jesus tells us to love our neighbor. A screen takes that concept away completely. Yeah. And so that's a huge fault of just screen time in general, and seeing people comment and you don't view them as a human who you're supposed to love.
That goes back to like what you said the last video about empathy. Like I'm huge into that now because it just struck me, like I never really realized it, but it's the empathy thing. Like you're not seeing that person. You say something horrible and hateful to that person. You don't see the reaction. They're not really even a person. Yeah. And your mind, it might feel good at the moment to do that because you're fighting for your side, what you think is right, but you have no idea what it's doing to your so-called enemy or your neighbor.
So rather than feeling bad for hurting you, I'm feeling good because I fought for my side.
Yeah.